Hi, I'm Justine Hamilton, one of the authors of Opening the Black Box of Cognitive Rehabilitation, integrating the ICF, RTSS, and PI. On behalf of my fellow authors, Dr. McKay Moore-Solberg and Dr. Lynn Turkstra, I'd like to share with you some highlights of our article. Anyone who works in cognitive rehab after brain injury knows the inherent complexities in helping our clients achieve meaningful gains in their everyday lives. There have been key advances in the rehabilitation field that need an implementation ramp in order to reach the treatment room. Without models to describe treatment components and rationale with precision, cognitive rehab remains a largely mysterious black box. So the purpose of our article is to unpack that black box of cognitive rehab. We do this by describing a unifying set of frameworks that can effectively direct clinical practice across disciplines. The first framework is well known to most people, the International Classification of Functioning, Disability, and Health, or the ICF, published by the World Health Organization in 2001. The ICF is a biopsychosocial model of disability that shows the interrelationship among an underlying condition, contextual factors, and the levels of impact on functioning. It provides a structure to help guide assessment and intervention planning, making sure we consider all relevant factors in the person's life and how they might interact. So the ICF provides us with the what in the therapy process. The second framework is less well known, and we hope our article will help change that. The Rehabilitation Treatment Specification System, or the RTSS, was introduced in 2014 and formalized into a manual in 2017. It is designed to describe and categorize our treatment targets and intervention components. Precisely describing treatment methods is key to increasing clinical effectiveness and the translation of research into practice. Consider the example of two clinicians. Each one says they're doing memory strategy training. One clinician explains the value of the strategy to the client and asks the client to brainstorm ways the strategy would be helpful. The other clinician models how to use the strategy, then has the client practice using it in session with tasks from their workplace. These two clinicians chose different approaches because they have different theories about what makes memory strategy training work. What they're actually doing in session is very different, yet both would say they're providing memory strategy training. The lack of specific details about what we actually do in cognitive rehab has been a significant barrier to progress in the field. It has negative consequences for both providers and clients. So the RTSS provides a framework to allow clinicians and researchers to precisely describe their interventions. It provides the how in the therapy process. The final framework, PI, stands for Planning, Implementation, and Evaluation. It was introduced in 2011 by my co-authors, Drs. Solberg and Turkstra, in their seminal text, Optimizing Cognitive Rehabilitation. With the advent of the RTSS, the original PI framework was reconceptualized and forms the basis for our new text, Transforming Cognitive Rehabilitation. The PI framework supports clinicians in adopting an evidence-informed and systematic approach to intervention. It integrates the ICF and RTSS and provides a holistic guide for selecting treatment targets, administering treatment ingredients, and measuring outcomes. Our article describes how these three frameworks work together in cognitive rehab. We've included prompts to help the reader ensure they've considered key elements in implementing a well-specified intervention plan. And we then provide a detailed case application to assist the reader in making the leap from concept to practice. We describe Elijah, who is 6 months post a moderate brain injury and struggling with arriving on time for their volunteer position. We hope that you enjoy reading the article and that you will try your hand at carrying out the steps we describe in integrating the ICF, RTSS, and PI frameworks. We think that you will find inspiration in adding much needed clarity and specificity to your interventions, and that your clients will benefit from opening up the black box of cognitive rehabilitation.